Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Sam and I am one of the Power BI enthusiasts. I am presenting an idea on IELTS that test takers mindset on listening, reading, writing and speaking for academic and general training purposes. IELTS, as it says, that it is an international English language testing system. That means a test which actually checks upon your listening, reading and writing and speaking skills so that third world countries or any other countries can communicate with the Western world. Now, as it grows, that IELTS has taken 3.5 trillion US dollars of chunk of money from the test takers in the year of 2016, and it happens to be that it has taken 2.8 trillion dollars already for the first quarter in 2018, which is going to be quadrillion dollars by the end of 2018. So it has earned so much of money from the test takers for all over the world. And if we say, or if we think about which part of the world does the people gives the exam, make us no mistake that this is all over the world, which is, we can say that it has grown to all the different parts of the world is been taken. All the red parts are where the people are taking exams to migrate or for academic purposes in different parts of the world, including America. So it has two different stakeholders. One is British Council, which is governed by the United Kingdom, and other is IDP Australia, which is solely a subsidiary of Australian government. We can also see that it has through its website that IELTS test taker performance for the different band scores have been divided into academic and general training. For the academic, it is 80.7%, and for the general training, it is 19.3%. For two different genders, that's female test takers and the male test takers, we have overall differences in academic and general module is a completely different scenario. If we check upon the academic, it is basically, we can say that it is only for university application purposes, and if we talk about the general training, it is for your immigration or any family unification or refugee crisis purposes. So what we are going to do, we have perfectly well planned that there are 4 different sections: listening, reading, writing and speaking for academic, and listening, reading, writing and speaking for general for all the different countries, and we're gonna make it patch up for different modules, and then we will check that each individual genders such as females and males, how they performed in 2016, or which gender is making more of mistakes than the former, or which gender is leading than the later. So what we do, we will simply take this website in here and we copy it. After that, we go to our Power BI, which is one of the tool that is help us to analyze, visualize and mine the data. So Power BI, which has a core fundamentals of query editing, creating relationships, applying the DAX, visualizations and Power BI platform. Therefore, we will simply use the Power BI as our tool, and we will go through the get data and we press on the web. After we doing it, the web window pops up in here, and the URL which we copied, we simply paste in here and just press our button to OK. It takes some time for the Power BI to get the data, and now once it gets it, you can see that all the texts of all the Power BI in here are actually gone, and only the tables are remaining into the Power BI. If you see the web view, we can get it different scenarios in each of the sections in Power BI, but we are only interested to understand the data. So we will check upon each of the data for academic and general purposes, for the first languages, for the place of origin, and to table 6. So we will select and if we check upon this document, it gives us an HTML which is not a good use for us. So Power BI gives us a help that we can select the documents as we need, and we simply click on this, and mind it, we will never use the load in here because we need to edit the query to get our desired results. So what we will do, we will edit, we click on this edit button, and it will immediately transfers the API. The API will immediately transfers it into a different data set. And now once the data set has been completed, it transfers me into different query editor window. Now let's see it. The academic and general training, each data set, if we evaluate, we can simply name it as per our own requirements. So academic and general training, which it says in here, so we simply write academic and general test takers. So that is fine, but if we mention it in details for our further analysis purposes, we can simply copy that academic and general training candidature in 2016, and we simply place it in here, and we press OK. Now if we check the first language is we have data for Africa is 6.9. that means it is taking the data of it has taken the data of our further down the first language, which shows that the mean band scores for the most common first languages in academic. The countries which has never spoken English as their first language, but they have to speak the language of English in order to get inside the universities, we are taking this data. So what we write, we take the most common first languages in academic module. So we use academic first language, and what we write in all the properties is the mean band scores for the most common in all the languages. So simply writing here, and we simply pressing OK. Now it asks us that place of origin. Now where it is actually happened, the place of origin. So if we just scroll up and we see that the data is 5.59 and 6.36, that is this one, which says that mean band scores for the most frequent countries or regions of origin. That means which countries are frequently, or which countries frequently participated in this exam, or the test takers on which countries have given this exam frequently in the academic section. So what we will write? We will write as the academic place of origin. And similarly we will take this and we will write in here. So like that we will be evaluating or taking each of the data set, and with this process we gonna make it a different part of our own requirement, so that we can understand the data patterns very well in IELTS. So I have already created this kind of data set for my own analysis purposes, and now as we can see that each of the modules have a different test takers in here, and each countries with a different test data we are here to do so. But this is where the analysis part comes into our Power BI module. So if we see a complete scenario, Power BI actually first we have to access it, then we clean it, then we mash up the data, then we explore, then we visualize, and then we share. So we have accessed the data and we have cleaned the data. Now it's our turn to work on the mashup, and here it coming to the mashup part is when we create the relationships. That means each of the test takers or each of the table need to be connected with each other, and which I will continue with the next of my video series. This will be one of the video series, and there are many video series will be coming. So don't forget to subscribe my channel in YouTube and stay connected in LinkedIn. Thank you very much.